If I could please get Naked up on this stage. Naked Development. Come on up, here we are.
How you guys doing? Yeah, I didn't see anybody get naked up on the stage, so I'll do this right now. How's that? You guys probably saw our logos around. We got drinks over here, Naked Development, sponsored by that. Please come over, I'll take shots with you. We're over here, we're giving away some stuff. Please spin the wheel. We're gonna give away tickets to our events we do all over the country. We do pitch events. We have a lot of founders come out. We have a lot of VCs and angels come out. We'd love to have you out. They're pretty cool, exclusive events. The tickets are about $600 each, so we're giving those away. And then the number one person the pitch that wins is gonna be my guest in Miami in 2 weeks, and we're gonna fly you out to be in the room with some pretty big VCs and angels. So hopefully somebody, we have some fun there. I'm really excited to have them over. So I'm John Driscoll. I'm this guy, that's a big picture, we don't need that. So I'm also giving away Naked AirPods. Okay, so while I'm doing this presentation for the next 15 minutes, okay, if you post and you DM us and follow us and tag us, we're gonna give away AirPods today while you're here, okay? They just say Naked on there. You can put a cover over them if you don't like them. You're good, no big deal. All right, cool. Well, hopefully I have a couple minutes to inspire you. Hopefully it inspires some of you. How many people are founders of, let's say, tech startups? Cool, you guys are, that's my love language right there. I love it. So I want to tell you my story in the startup space, just for a minute. And I know it's really loud, but I'm gonna give this a shot, okay? My story starts on March 6, 2008. I'll tell you what, anybody who can tell me what March 6, 2008 was, I'll give away another pair of AirPods, if you know. Anybody here? This is my co-founder, Jason. He's walking around. March 6, 2008 was a special day for me because there was this presentation by Steve Jobs. It wasn't iPhone 1. I know everybody's going to say it's iPhone 1. iPhone 1 was 2007. In 2008, in March, he did a presentation where he talked about the App Store. And it was the first time we'd ever heard about the App Store. Now, if you're old enough, and there's some people in here that I think qualify for this, if you're old enough, you know that we only had 16 apps on the iPhone at the time. There was only 16 apps, that was it. There was no app store to go download something else. For a whole year, we had iPhones, and you couldn't do anything else with them. We just had to wait and hope that Apple would make some cool apps. That was it, that's all we had. So when this happened, I saw the App Store presentation, and he said, you can be a developer and you can make apps. I didn't know how to do it, but as a founder should, you don't know how to do it, that should not stop you. You should do it anyways. I did not know how to do it. I didn't know how to program an Objective-C at the time. We didn't have Swift, that was before Swift. But we figured it out and we started making apps. And I enrolled, I think it was $99 for the year. I enrolled for $99 and I got started. And we made a few apps. We made several hundred. I kind of lost count after several hundred ago. So we made lots of apps since March 6, 2008. And we did them for a lot of large companies, a lot of big companies. And that's how we got started. But after a while, what we found with big companies is they just kind of tell you what to do. And I'll be honest, when you're making and you're trying to innovate, that's not a lot of fun. So what we started to do, we got into startups. And about 10 years ago, we worked with one of our first startups. And we just found that was our DNA. We loved the startup community. We loved people that wanted to take problems and create solutions. And that's what we are about. That's what we do every single day as a company here in Irvine, by the way. I go all over the country. This is so much fun to be in my backyard today. So right here in Irvine, we've been doing that for 10 years. We work with some pretty impressive founders. This is one of our investors. You might have heard about this app. Anybody heard about this app, The Right Stuff, here in Orange County? Pretty popular app, actually. A lot of you apparently aren't on dating apps. I'm seeing that. Okay, so this is, but Peter Thiel funded this app. We also did Car Blip, which is on one of the Indy 500 cars, if you've seen that. We've also got funding from Ashton Kutcher on bidmylisting.com. That valuation just went to $200 million. So we're seeing all these apps that we worked on. We started from 0 users and then got them to high valuations. That's what we're about. We're trying to not make apps, we make app businesses. That's what we do. We get you funding, we provide marketing, we provide design, we provide US-based development right here in your backyard, here in Irvine. Some numbers about us. We've generated $500 million in acquisitions. 70% of our projects that start and design get funded. Last year alone, we raised $35 million. We just crossed the $100 million mark as a company for raising funds for startups that we're involved with. And last year alone, we saw 1,350 ideas pitched. We will cross over 2,000 this year. It's pretty crazy. It's gotten so crazy and we've enjoyed it so much that we started Naked Ventures, our venture fund, which now has 6 portfolio companies that we help fund. So if you can't do it, you can't fund it, maybe we'll do it for you. We get that into it. And so it's a lot of fun. You might have seen us off the freeway. Anybody see us off the freeway? Okay. So there's 2 types of founders that I found in my experience that are the most common. There's a third one too, but the 2 that I see the most are 2 founders. I call these guys dreamers. Dreamers live in the clouds. They love to talk about how big this company's gonna be. I feel it down in my bones, it's gonna be big. I know it's gonna be big. I hear this every day. They dream build and they build big. There's a mistake in this. They're partially right. That's the dreamers. The second one I see are gardeners. They live in the weeds. They probably had a company already and they know that they've got to have all the details and they're working out all the details and they're worried about being profitable the first day, all that good stuff. These guys tend to dream small and they build small. And they're partially right. What you really want to be as a founder, in my experience, is you want to be like Amazon. You want to dream big and build small. And that's what we help companies do. You have to start somewhere. Let me talk through this for a minute. This is the first Amazon warehouse. This is where they started. This is why I fucking love startups. Because this is the kind of shit we see on a daily basis as a company. We start inside of a garage. And then you get to 185 of these worldwide. How does someone do that from 1997 to this point? And I'll tell you, you have to dream big. He was dreaming big when he called it Amazon. That wasn't the only name he had. One of the other names he had was Relentless.com. You can go there today. Relentless.com still takes you to Amazon. The other name was Cadabra, like abracadabra, because he wanted to be magic. But he went through the A's and he came to Amazon. He goes, this thing's big. I'm going to call it something big. I'm going to call it Amazon. But he didn't try to sell us everything, did he? He does now. We could all order some shit and we'd have it here in an hour. But that's not how he started, right? He had a big dream, but he took it piece by piece. And when he started selling books, he learned something from the book process. This is the key to a startup. You have to get something right. Once you get that right, you can go do more things. He said, that's when I thought to myself, we can sell anything this way. By doing it right one way, he knew he could scale from there. Let me tell you, somebody who's been a part of that, that is so real. Scale is hard. You got to get something right first, and then you can scale. A lot of founders look at this and they get very excited, very excited. It's a lot of fun to look at these big numbers. And they think and they go, look at Amazon, I'm going to be like them, I'm going to sell everything. But you can't look at Amazon here, you got to look at Amazon here. You've got to pattern yourself after what they were, not what they are. And that's the problem with most founders that I find. They try to shoot too high, too fast, and they're not patient enough. They're not patient. I love Gary Vee always talks about that. So you've got to build small. This was the first Amazon transaction. Back in those days, Steve Bezos used to take a bell out on his desk and ring it. Now we know he can't do that now, but now he does rocket ships and he's still ringing a bell, right? Now he's got spaceships going out in space. So you see from 1999, from this, how do you get from point A to point B? Just like this, folks. Little by little. You can barely see the differences. They're small changes. That's why we're called Naked. It's about minimalism. It's about doing less. It's about taking it step by step. You're not going to get there all overnight. You've got to take it step by step, little changes at a time. This is not an MVP, folks. This is not an MVP. That's a stealth bomber. If you don't know what it is, that's an MVP. It's small. Get it to market. I'll give you a few quotes and then I'll go. Jason Fried, one of my favorites. Build half a product, not a half-assed product. Reid Hoffman, if you aren't embarrassed by your first version, you've shipped too late. Brian Chesky, one of my favorite CEOs of startup. Build something 100 people love, not something 1 million people kind of like. This is the process. You say, well, how do you guys get from here to $100 million valuations on a regular basis? It's because we repeat the same process over and over and over again. Now we've done it hundreds of times, and now we just have to do it. Let me give you this last one, and I'll go. He's the #2 YouTuber on the internet. His net worth is over 105 million. The page's value, a YouTube channel, is now valued at possibly $10 billion. I want to show you some numbers for a minute. When he had 100 videos, he only had 752 subscribers. Now he has 766 videos and he has 200 million subscribers. From video 100 to video 750, the guy gained 200 million subscribers. It's about doing it over and over and over again. So you feel tired, you feel like it's hard, you want to give up. Let me tell you, I know what you're feeling. You got to keep going. You got to get through it. You keep going, you might actually get the dream. All right, make sure you guys post. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh, there you go. Thank you.